This video is about famous Hollywood celebrities and people who passed away in April 2020 in the United States. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Shirley Knight, she was born in July 1936 and she died in April 2020. Her age was 83 at the time of her death and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Shirley Knight was an American actress, a two-time Academy Award nominee for her roles in The Dog at the Top of the Stairs and Sweet Bird of Youth. She was a versatile and respected performer on stage, screen, and television. Knight was a beloved and influential figure in entertainment. Christina, she was born in January 1959 and she died in April 2020. Her age was 61 at the time of her death and the reason for her death were complications from COVID-19. Christina Monet Palissy, known as Christina, was an American singer and writer. She was a prominent figure in the no-wave music scene of the late 1970s and early 80s. Christina's music was known for its witty and satirical lyrics. Brian Danahe, he was born in July 1938 and he died in April 2020. His age was 81 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was cardiac arrest. Brian Danahe was an American actor, a two-time Tony Award winner for his performances in Death of a Salesman. He was a versatile character actor with a commanding presence in both film and television. Danahe was a respected and beloved figure in entertainment. Tom Lester, he was born in September 1938 and he died in April 2020. His age was 81 at the time of his death and the reason for his death were complications from Parkinson's disease. Tom Lester was an American actor, best known for his role as a farmhand, Ab Dawson, on the classic television sitcom Green Acres. He was a respected and beloved figure in television. Lester was a familiar face to viewers of all ages. Dimmitri Diachenko, he was born in April 1968 and he died in April 2020. His age was 52 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was accidental overdose of prescription drugs. Dimmitri Diachenko was an American actor and voice actor, known for playing Russian characters in various films and video games. He was a respected performer with a long career in entertainment. Diachenko was a versatile actor. Sam Lloyd, he was born in November 1963 and he died in April 2020. His age was 56 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was brain cancer. Sam Lloyd was an American actor and musician, best known for his role as the lawyer Ted Buckland on the television sitcom Scrubs. He was a talented and versatile performer who also sang in a barber shop quartet. Lloyd was a respected and beloved actor. James Drury, he was born in April 1934 and he died in April 2020. His age was 85 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. James Drury was an American actor, best known for his starring role as a title character in the classic television western series The Virginian. He was a respected and beloved figure in early television. Drury was a familiar face to viewers. Alan Davio, he was born in June 1942 and he died in April 2020. His age was 77 at the time of his death and the reason for his death were complications from COVID-19. Alan Davio was an American cinematographer, a five-time Academy Award nominee. He was known for his collaborations with director Steven Spielberg on films like E.T., The Extraterrestrial, and Empire of the Sun. Davio was a respected and influential figure in the film industry. John Prine, he was born in October 1946 and he died in April 2020. His age was 73 at the time of his death and the reason for his death were complications from COVID-19. John Prine was an American singer, songwriter, a legendary figure in folk and country music. He was a two-time Grammy winner and a highly respected songwriter. Prine's music was known for its witty and poignant lyrics. Hrix Bass. He was born in December 1926 and he died in April 2020. His age was 93 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Hrix Bass was an American television personality, best known as a central figure in the 1950s quiz show Connids. He was depicted in the film quiz show. Bass was a respected figure in television history. Connids. He was born in October 1927 and he died in April 2020. His age was 92 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was pneumonia related to COVID-19. Connids was an American jazz alto saxophonist, a respected and influential figure in cool jazz. He was a longtime veteran of the jazz scene and a respected innovator. Connids was a dedicated and talented musician. Sneeed. He was born in December 1967 and he died in April 2020. His age was 52 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from COVID-19. Sneeed was an American gospel singer, a Grammy-nominated artist. He was a respected figure in the world of gospel music. Sneed's music was influential to many. Ellis Marcales Jr. He was born in November 1934 and he died in April 2020. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from COVID-19. Ellis Marcales Jr. was an American jazz pianist and educator, the patriarch of the famous Marcales family of jazz musicians. He was a respected and influential figure in the New Orleans jazz scene. Marcales was a dedicated educator who mentored numerous musicians. Deej. He was born in August 1924 and he died in April 2020. His age was 95 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were intestinal problems. Deej was an American illustrator, animator, and film director. He was known for directing episodes of Tom and Jerry and Popeye cartoons. Deej was a respected and influential figure in the world of animation. Bucky Pitzerelli. He was born in January 1926 and he died in April 2020. His age was 94 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from COVID-19. Bucky Pitzerelli was an American jazz guitarist, a respected and influential figure in the jazz world. He collaborated with legendary musicians like Benny Goodman and Les Paul. Pitzerelli was a dedicated and talented musician. Slesinger. He was born in October 1967 and he died in April 2020. His age was 52 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from COVID-19. Slesinger was an American musician and songwriter, a member of the famous band Fountains of Wayne. He was a respected and influential songwriter known for his witty and catchy pop songs. He also wrote songs for television and film, for which he won 3 Emmy Awards, a Grammy Award, and the ASCAP Pop Music Award, and was nominated for Academy, Tony, and Golden Globe Awards. Hrix Bass. She was born in October 1941 and she died in April 2020. Her age was 78 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was ovarian cancer. Hrix Bass was an American investor, documentary filmmaker, and art collector. She was a former wife of billionaire oilman Sid Bass. She directed the 2010 documentary film Dancing Across Borders. She was a patron of the arts in New York City and Fort Worth, Texas. H ONeal. He was born in December 1935 and he died in April 2020. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was lung cancer. H ONeal was an American politician and business executive. He served as a United States Secretary of Treasury under President George W. Bush and as the CEO of Alcoa. ONeal was a respected figure in both government and business. Driscoll. He was born in June 1931 and he died in April 2020. His age was 88 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from COVID-19. David Driscoll was an American artist and art historian, a leading scholar on African American art. He was a professor at the University of Maryland and a respected and influential figure in the world of art. Driscoll's work helped shape the study of African American art. Lynn Harold. He was born in January 1944 and he died in April 2020. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cardiac arrest. Lynn Harold was an American cellist, a two-time Grammy Award winner. He performed with the world's leading orchestras and was a respected and influential figure in the world of classical music. Harold was a dedicated and a talented musician. Vanessa Guan. She was born in September 1999 and she died in April 2020. Her age was 20 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was homicide. Vanessa Guan was a United States Army soldier who was tragically murdered at Fort Hood Army Base in Texas. Her death sparked a national movement for justice and reform in the military's handling of sexual harassment and assault. Guan's life and death brought awareness to a critical issue. Kevin Duffy. He was born in January 1933 and he died in April 2020. His age was 87 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications of COVID-19. Kevin Duffy was an American judge who served as a federal judge on the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. He had a long and distinguished career on the federal bench. Duffy was a respected jurist. I Platnik. He was born in December 1951 and he died in April 2020. His age was 68 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications following a fall. I Platnik was an American ethnologist and a curator at the American Museum of Natural History. He was a leading expert on spiders and a respected and influential scholar in his field. Platnik's work had a significant impact on the study of spiders. Edward L. Fedner. He was born in October 1919 and he died in April 2020. His age was 100 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Edward L. Fedner was an American United States naval aviator and test pilot. He had a long and distinguished career in the military, flying in Second World War, and during 2 combat tours, he shot down 9 enemy aircraft to become a flying ace. Fedner was a respected and decorated veteran. Slesinger. He was born in September 1924 and he died in April 2020. His age was 95 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Slesinger was an Austrian-American physicist and a prominent climate change skeptic. He was a respected and controversial figure in the scientific community. Singer's views on climate change were a subject of debate. Hank Steinbrenner. He was born in April 1957 and he died in April 2020. His age was 63 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from liver ailment. Hank Steinbrenner was an American business executive, a co-owner of the New York Yankees. He was the eldest son of the legendary Yankees owner, George Steinbrenner. Hank was a respected figure in the world of professional baseball. Howard Finkle. He was born in June 1950 and he died in April 2020. His age was 69 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications after a stroke. Howard Finkle was an American professional wrestling ring announcer, a legendary and beloved figure in the world of professional wrestling. He was the first and longtime ring announcer for the WWE. Finkle was a respected and influential figure in the sport. Al Colleen. He was born in December 1934 and he died in April 2020. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Al Colleen was an American professional baseball player, a Hall of Fame outfielder for the Detroit Tigers. He was a revered figure in the city of Detroit and one of the greatest players in Tigers history. Colleen was a respected and beloved player. Ed Farmer, he was born in October 1949 and he died in April 2020. His age was 70 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from kidney disease. Ed Farmer was an American professional baseball player and radio broadcaster. He was a pitcher for the Chicago White Sox and later became the team's radio play-by-play announcer. Farmer was a respected figure in Chicago baseball. Tom Dempsey, he was born in January 1947 and he died in April 2020. His age was 73 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from COVID-19. Tom Dempsey was an American professional football player, a kicker who played for the New Orleans Saints. He held the NFL record for the longest field goal at 63 yards. Dempsey was a respected player and a part of the National Football League history. Bobby Mitchell, he was born in June 1935 and he died in April 2020. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Bobby Mitchell was an American professional football player, a Hall of Fame wide receiver for the Washington Redskins. He was a respected and influential figure who helped integrate the Redskins. Mitchell was a talented and groundbreaking athlete. Titus Jackson, he was born in April 1983 and he died in April 2020. His age was 36 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was a car accident. Titus Jackson was an American professional football player, a quarterback who played for the Minnesota Vikings and Seattle Seahawks in the National Football League. He was a respected player and a Super Bowl champion. Jackson's life was tragically cut short in a car accident. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.